Hey guys, what's up? It's Connor here with Digital Recreation, and today we're going to be talking about the future of the Elder Scrolls series and Skyrim. Because I don't have Skyrim installed, and I actually have quite a bit of talk about in regards to this game that I'm playing right now, Dead Island, which I picked up from the Humble Deep Silver bundle pretty recently. I felt that this would be a proper game to record instead of Skyrim, as to talking about the future of the Elder Scrolls series. So, Skyrim, I love Skyrim. It's the only game I've ever been to a midnight release for. And I've played, I don't know, probably 150 hours or something of Skyrim. And I played just so much in the first week I had it. It was ridiculous. I've never played a game that much, but in that short period of time. However, after reflecting on it, it's been almost 2 years at this point. There are definitely some things that could be improved on in the next Elder Scrolls game. A lot of people are gonna agree that the weakest aspect of Skyrim was the combat mechanics, and this goes for basically every Elder Scrolls game that's ever came out. The exploration and the story and everything besides that in Skyrim, it was great. It was totally acceptable. The visuals were beautiful, and everything felt very rewarding. Besides combat, just felt stale. I didn't really feel that visceral, and that's something that I really like about Dead Island. I think the best part about this game, one of the best part about this game is the combat. The combat in this game actually feels really this guy right there. It feels really not visual. It feels visceral and impactful, which is I feel something that Skyrim misses out on because it's just so stale and bland. Well, in this game, when you hit somebody, you really feel like you're just nailing them. Oh wow! Another aspect of this game that I feel could be implemented into the next Elder Scrolls game, which would help it a lot, is that you can do things like break their arms, just like I did to that guy. And that actually comes into play if you're fighting an enemy called like a thug or some enemy that's more powerful than you. One of the best things to do in this game is you have to disable their fighting abilities before you actually go up and get really close and just start wailing on them. In Skyrim, you kind of just, if you were playing a melee class, you kind of just go up to things and just wail on them. In this game, you kind of have to be more tactical about how you go about doing things, and even there's a jump back or jump around thing, so you can get out of the way fast if somebody's about to hit you and do a lot of damage. All I found myself doing in Skyrim was just running up and just wailing on things and killing them as fast as I possibly could, and not thinking about really my tactical options. If I ran low on health, I just take a couple of health potions, and that would resolve that problem. But I feel that Skyrim could be improved a lot if they implemented the system that's in this game, where you can sever and break limbs in order to reduce the fighting chances that your enemy has against you. And Bethesda has proved they're capable of doing this, a fighting system like this, because they did it in Fallout 3, and this is often why I consider Fallout 3 to be a superior game to Skyrim. While I prefer almost every part of Skyrim, the combat in Fallout 3 is so much better because you can actually just cripple the head, the arms, the feet, the torso of different enemies. You can pick out tactically how you want to approach situations. Even if you're playing a melee class, I would say, because I'm pretty sure... Well, actually, maybe not so much as a melee class, because with VATS you can only target them as a person. But in Fallout 3, I used a small arms. That was mainly what I went with. I usually used small arms or energy weapons. And those aren't the most powerful guns in the world. I mean, there are some really powerful guns like the Gauss rifle, but I didn't find myself using that gun all that much. I usually used smaller weapons for most of the game, at least. that were not so powerful, but they were pretty accurate. And usually, what I would do when I'm approaching in a situation with a lot of enemies who are much more powerful, had much more powerful weaponry than I did, such as super mutants, who often carried around miniguns, rocket launchers, and super sledges. Usually the most effective way to approach that in a situation when you're using small weapons would be to use VATs or just target their arms and reduce their effectiveness by crippling their arms, which makes them drop their weapon, or just not do as much damage to you. Because if they drop their weapon, you just run up and pick it up, or if they're just crippled, they can't do a whole lot of damage to you, and they swing slower and they're less accurate. So I thought that was one of the best parts about Fallout 3, was that it was a really interesting way of approaching combat in an FPS RPG, where you could just target. Oh, yay, finally a gun. I've never got a gun in this game before. But you could actually just, really pick out how you wanted to beat your opponent. In Skyrim, you just run up and wail on them. Another aspect about Skyrim that I feel could be improved upon, and that is really, I think, really well done in this game, Dead Island. This is not Riptide, this is just regular one. Is that you really feel like you're just whacking something, just nailing it when you hit somebody. Like, she went flying. The physics in Skyrim, I mean, they can be really funny at times, but the physics in fighting, when you hit somebody with, just say, a giant hammer, they shouldn't just take the blow. They should be going back. They should not be feeling too good. And there could even be different what do you call it? Different stats for weapons, because in this game, if we look at a weapon, let's just say we're looking at the let's look at the heavy crowbar. Alright, so you can see the damage it does there. You can see it's got durability, you see its handling. But the thing that they could really add to Skyrim is the force, how much force a weapon has behind it. Because if you took, something like a butter knife or something, and you just started hitting somebody, you could expect that wouldn't do too much. But if you took something like a baseball bat, or, oh wow, no, how are we on fire? But if you were in Skyrim, you're using like a dagger, you could expect that, if you hit somebody with the dagger, they're not gonna move that much. I mean, yeah, it's gonna hurt them, they might flinch or something, but they're not gonna be just flying backwards from that little dagger. However, on the other hand, if you used a large weapon, just like a sledgehammer, like I said earlier, and you hit something, you would want it to just go flying. So if they really brought out more physics in the combat, I feel like that would be a really good thing for it. Just make everything feel a lot more impactful, because right now oftentimes when you just kill somebody in Skyrim, they just kind of slump over. See, this guy, just hit him once, he's already on the ground, he flies backwards. And, even the same thing could be done to you. If you were hit by somebody who had a very large weapon, you should be, feeling that. You shouldn't just be taking that. If they added a dodge system to Skyrim, it could definitely help out with that. So, maybe, if you have heavier armor on, when you dodge, it uses more of your stamina. But it helps you get out of those ways of those really heavy blows, so they don't stun you as often. Because I found the combat abilities in Skyrim to not really change the way that I played the game, because there were some abilities that allowed you to have different types of attacks, such as those that would remove the weapons from your enemy's hands, or stun them, or knock them down. But I found that oftentimes just the most effective way to go about attacking the enemy is just to run up and just attack them, just wail on them. It doesn't really matter where you aim or how you do it. You just go up there and press the right trigger as fast as possible. But I played a two-handed, I played a Nord warrior who had double swords, So that might explain why I felt that way. Really, the only ability that I found that really changed the way I played was, what is it called? It's like the whirlwind ability where you spin around really fast and just unload your. Well, not on. What am I talking about? I just thinking about Dead Rising right now. Dead Island. Jeez, I can't even think about this. But you just attack as fast as possible, and you use like half of your stamina, but it basically just kills whatever you attack. I don't want to do that to you. So I would use that against bosses, and that's really the only time that I felt that it was needed. Or if I was just in a really sticky situation, I would use it. However, besides that, didn't really need to use it at all. So in this game, right off the bat, you earn. I'm playing a Sam B. He's really good with blunt weapons. Right off the bat, you get an ability that definitely changes the way that you play combat as this character, which is that you're going for the head. All right, you're having. I mean, not that you wouldn't do that in the first place in a zombie game, but with blunt weapons, you're gonna be targeting the head because you're gonna do a different kind of strike that does a lot more damage. It has like a higher % chance to cripple them. It has, just a bunch of things. And later on you get an ability like this, which is actually really useful, just because in this game, you don't want to just be wailing all the time with your weapon, your best weapons, because they degrade over time and they will break down unless you keep repairing them, which costs quite a bit of money actually. So I have to go here and repair my crowbar, and it was already down halfway from what we've gone through so far. And if that didn't have that system where you could just stomp on the enemy's head, you would be using a lot more of your money to repair your weapon, because you knock down enemies in this game a lot. So if Skyrim had more useful abilities that were implemented in such a way like that, because a lot of the abilities in Skyrim are just like get 10% more weapon attack. Your armor effectiveness is increased by 30%, or your weight, the amount of stuff you can carry is increased by however much. And those affect like how much money you can earn, because how much stuff you can carry, you can sell more. That's good. And the other stuff is like, it changes the gameplay a little bit just because it makes you stronger, not because it adds new interesting systems. But I know it's kind of going on for a long time and kind of ran out for stuff to talk about at the end of this video, but I hope you guys can see the points that I'm making here, and that Bethesda is completely capable of implementing a combat system that's more intriguing into a game like Skyrim, because they've done it before, and I hope they do that again. So thanks for watching this video, guys. I'm going to be posting I recently picked up Age of the Empires 2 for the HD version, because I love that game. I used to play it a ton when I was a little kid. So I picked up the HD version very recently because it's on sale on Steam for half off. So I picked it up and I've been messing around in there. And I think I'm going to make a couple of videos in that game because it's fun and I want to do some goofy stuff in there. And I'm not very good at the game. So I want to eventually take it online and just mess around with strategies in the meantime to see what I can do. But for now, thanks for watching this video, guys.